There is an initiative that's going to be making the rounds starting right now in Washington state. It is IL 26 126. So that means initiative to the legislature. And it would require proof of citizenship for voter registration. Yes, in Washington state, we do not require that you show proof that you are, in fact, a U.S. citizen in order to vote here. They just assume that everyone will tell the truth and honor system is great and vote for who you want to vote for. Democrats, I mean, that's all what it's about, right? So Democrats are pushing back against this pretty hard. Jim Walsh is the chair of the Washington State Republican Party. We asked him to come on to explain what the initiative is all about, what it would do, how it would work, etc. Here's a controversial concept: require that people show proof that they're a U.S. citizen before they vote.
Yeah, it really you'd think that everybody would just agree, but it's been interesting to see the governor, Mr. Ferguson, and various other activists. You'd think the world was ending about this initiative. It's a straightforward, simple step to help with election integrity. Many states do this already. We don't. So what we're saying in the initiative is when you're registered to vote. Now, this is important. It's when you're registered to vote. It's not when you send your ballot in. It's not anything else. It's when you register to vote. You've got to show some proof you're a citizen and therefore a legal voter. Uh, and there's a lot of misinformation. Oh, it means you've got to get an enhanced driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't mean that. An enhanced driver's license is one of the ways you can show you're a citizen, but you can do it with a birth certificate. You can do it with other legal documents. You can do it with if you're a naturalized citizen, you can do it with your naturalization documents. So there are a bunch of ways to establish it. Passport will do also. So it's not restrictive in that way. It is not designed to suppress anyone to vote. It's just making sure that everybody who registers is in fact a citizen and a legal voter.
So what does that mean for you and I, who are already registered voters, have been for a long time? Do we have to go back and provide some sort of documentation to continue to vote?
At some point you would, because current state law, and the initiative doesn't do this. This is current state law. Current state law says that the county auditors or election officials, so the 39 county auditors, or in King County, the elected election administrator, have to update their voter rolls, the databases of registered voters, on what existing law says is an ongoing basis. And the initiative does say within a 2-year period, as part of the ongoing update and making current of voter information, the county auditors will request that you provide the information. But
Gotcha.
that's existing law. That part is not new.
So let's talk about what will be and already is the retort to this. I think it's twofold. One, Jim, this is totally unnecessary. We don't have illegals voting in our elections, and you're just making up a solution for a problem that doesn't exist.
Not true. Both journalists and some reform-minded public officials have, through the Public Records Act request process, shown that in some cases, people who are non-citizens and even illegal immigrants to Washington state have been registered to vote. And I guess the Center Square was probably the most prominent media outlet that did that story and showed with documentation that there are illegal people being illegally registered to vote. Now, their status may be different. It may be they're a legal immigrant. It may be they've got a green card. It may be they're here illegally. That doesn't matter. Only citizens are supposed to be registered to vote. And we've shown documentation that non-citizens are registered to vote in Washington. Now, how much of an issue is that? That's another point of debate. No one tracks whether these non-citizens are casting votes or not. The Secretary of State doesn't track it. The county officials don't track it. There may be some federal data that would show whether these people have voted or not, but at this point in time, even the federal data is not available to the general public. So we don't know how many are voting or not. But we had a statewide election for Public Lands Commissioner last year, where in the primary, the race for second place was decided by 50 votes.
Yeah.
In those close races, we need to make sure every vote being cast is a legal vote.
Yeah, and for people who don't understand, well, how could that happen? I'm going to characterize it and correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, because we have motor voters. So basically, when you get a driver's license, you're registered to vote. And we know in this state, because of sanctuary policies, they don't require to get a driver's license that you have proof of citizenship, but you do have to sign an attestation that you're able to vote. But that's all it is, right? It's basically a personal attestation that, yep, like I'm okay to vote, and you get registered, right?
That's correct,
Okay.
Brandi. There's no actual due diligence. And we're still, in many cases, when an individual is applying for a driver's license or for other state benefits, including food stamps, SNAP, or other benefits, the individual applying doesn't always fill out the documents themselves. Sometimes it's the clerk, the state employee, who fills out those documents. So it's even worse than that. The state employee quickly says, "Are you okay to vote?" And the person sort of nods or
Yeah.
says, "Yeah, I think so." And they check the box. So the attestation isn't always even coming from the individual.
The other argument that we already hear from Democrats is this is going to further disenfranchise people, the poor, people of color. And I will say, when I read the ballot title, I know you like the ballot title or the description. I don't. The only reason is, to me, it does sound like there's this like burden on me as a legal voter. Well, now I got to do more to be able to vote. It reads, this measure would require voters to have an enhanced driver's license or enhanced identicard or provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship in person, and would cancel registrations for voters not meeting those requirements. So if we've got Democrats out there messaging, and they'll fight back about this tooth and nail, like, oh my gosh, now people are going to have to go out, make the time to get the correct identification, show up in person, even though they're legally able to vote. And Republicans are just trying to provide all these hoops to make it harder for people to vote. So how do you push back against that narrative?
Well, we have mail-in voting in this state, so you don't have to go to a polling place to cast your vote. If this initiative passes into law, all you have to do, and it could be online or it could be in person, you have to at some point verify that you're a legal voter. And it's not every election. It's as often as the local election official decides in their system that they update their database. So you do it maybe once every couple of years. It's a good, simple election integrity reform. And yeah, people are going to push back, but you got to ask, why would someone object to an initiative that is merely clarifying and strengthening what is current public policy?
Yeah.
That is, only citizens should register to vote.
Yeah. So it's an initiative to the legislature.
Correct.
Those concern me after what happened last time. I mean, we sent the parental rights initiative to the legislature. They said, sure, love it, let's pass it. And then they went back the very next year and they gutted it. So my understanding is an initiative to the legislature allows them to turn around and just upend it much more easily than an initiative to the people. So why not send it to voters?
The timing works better. Well, it may end up going to the voters, by the way. So the initiative of the legislature really goes first to the legislature. And then if the legislature doesn't pass the initiative, if they do anything else, it goes to the people for a vote.
Right.
So I believe this probably will end up going to the people for a vote, but we'll see. Yes, there are some parliamentary maneuvers that the legislature can do to pass an initiative to the legislature and then fix it sooner and with a lower threshold than if it comes directly from the people. But I think this is an important issue to put in front of the legislature because I want to hear what the legislative leadership has to say about election integrity. And I think it will be useful to everyone who cares about trustworthy, reliable elections to put the legislature, at least give them the chance to be on the record about what they think and what they support or don't support. I suspect that the legislature will pass on this one and let it go to the people and let the people vote. And I think that will also be a good thing. That would come to the ballot for the people to vote on in November of 2026.
Midterms.
And I think the timing on that works well, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I disagree. I think that they have no shame, and what they'll do is they'll pass it and then they'll come back and they'll gut it, just like they did parental rights.
And they could try to do that, Brandi, but I think there's political price to be paid when they do something as cynical as that. I think we're seeing it with the parental rights initiative and the Parents' Bill of Rights. I think what they did, the little malarkey and parliamentary trickery on gutting that, I think that's backfired on the current majorities in Olympia badly. And I think we're going to see the effects of that this fall in a couple of those special elections for the legislature, where we know that the tricks they're playing with the Parents' Bill of Rights are costing their candidates a lot. People don't like what the Democrat majorities in Olympia did on the Parents' Bill of Rights. And I think we're going to see the proof of that this fall.
I hope you're right, because, man, they're really good at lying to people about what they did. And the media's really good at just spreading those lies around. And I sometimes worry if we're just shouting into the abyss. Really quick, Jim Walsh, where can people figure out how to sign this thing?
Uh, the state Republican Party is leading the charge on it. There are
Okay.
other people involved, but the easiest way to get information is wagop.org,
Okay.
or you can contact your county Republican Party office. The chair of those counties have the petitions, and we're going to be at a lot of fairs this summer. So county fairs, you'll be able to see the petitions to sign, and that's going to kind of be our kickoff for a campaign of collecting signatures through the late summer and fall this year.
Perfect. Okay. Well, I'll go to a fair. I'll find it. I'll sign it. Jim Walsh, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Great to talk to you, Brandi. Be well.
So again, Jim Walsh, there, chair of the Washington State Republican Party, talking about their initiative 26-126, which would require proof of citizenship to vote in Washington State. And again, I know a lot of people are feeling frustrated with the initiative process because Democrats always find a way to upend things, but the other option is we just give up, which I'm not ready to do.